Hey everybody, it's Lee. I had my lengthy monologue yesterday, so like Elvis said, a little less conversation and a little more action. So let's just get into yoga and movement and martial arts forms. So as I put yesterday in my chat, the first thing we're going to do is yoga sun salutations. There's two of them, one and two, or A and B, depending on whether you study Hatha yoga or Vinyasa yoga. So we're standing in our mountain pose, about 50-50. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. I hold here for a little bit. Lifting up halfway lift. Exhale, spread the fingers, plant the hands. Move the legs back into plank. Lower slowly. Flatten the feet. Inhale, upward dog or baby cobra. Then move into downward dog. You can pedal the feet here or just hold it statically. Ideally, the legs are somewhat straight. The body's forming an upside down V here. Looking forward, hop, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward, fold forward. Inhale back up to mountain pose or standing. So that's sun salutation A. Before I go any further with this, I have to kinesio-tape my knee. I'm feeling it twinge lately. The weather's been changing. I'm going to do both knees. It is both been feeling it to some extent or another. Kinesio-tape. Back in the good old days when Twitch we could have music. But these days, if you get an idea in your head, they come up with some reason why you can't do it anymore, even though I know there's a streamer that I watched whenever she got rated. She was able to play the music to Benny Hill and have just a 7-minute clip from the old Willy Wonka. So but Twitch won't allow that now, even though they allowed that like 5 years ago. Because why would you want to bring people to your stream and have fun and promote their platform? But oh boy, every time you're watching Twitch, there's an ad every 30 seconds that goes for 22 seconds. So they're great with rules, but not so great with monetization of people that are actually using and promoting their platform. Unless I was wearing a bikini and doing hot tubbing and pools, and I don't mean actually like fixing or making a hot tub or, repairing it or cleaning it. No, I mean like just sitting in a hot tub. So that was my rant for today while kinesiotaping my knees just across so not right across the patella, but in between the tibia and patella, that tibial plateau, and then there's cartilage there. Just because I've been feeling kind of wonky. Of course, doing 12-hour shifts and doing stairs at work doesn't really help that much, so enough ranting, a little less conversation, a little more action. And so I'll do 2 more Sun Salutation A's, and then I'll show you Sun Salutation B. I'll do this one a little different. I don't like to jump through the sequence really quickly. That's fine if it's a martial arts sequence, but with yoga, we need to slow things down a little bit. And sometimes I like to hang out in some of the individual postures just for a little bit to really get that muscle memory and get the benefit of the posture instead of just quickly jumping through it and going to the next one. It's like taking a piece of music and either slowing it down or speeding it up. In some way, we're taking the original form and using it and tweaking it, and that's what it was meant for. It wasn't meant to just be doing everything by rote memory all the time. Playing with it, just seeing what the dynamics of it are. No, I'm hugging my hands, my shoulders, my elbows. I'm hugging them and tight into my body. I'm not having them splayed out like you'll see in some yoga streams, because those people aren't particularly trained. They're just girls showing off their flexibility, but they're not really doing much form. Some of those things are going to give them repetitive stress injury, but never mind trying to tell them that on stream. That's fine. Let them enjoy their young bodies while they last, because guess what, everybody? Everybody gets old and everybody's body parts start wearing out. Now, in some yoga styles, you just pike the hips straight and back. In the Budokan yoga that I did, we start with the neck and slowly articulate, caterpillaring the spine, and then landing in downward dog. And from the static position, you can play around with the weight distribution. You can go a little deeper into the pose slowly, but don't force yourself into the pose. Just slowly work yourself into, see where your body's at, what your range of motion is. Looking forward so we can either walk or we can pulse the legs and hop our feet to our hands. From there, at halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale back to standing. I'll do another one of those really quickly. Hi, Zenith. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let me give you a shout out. Thanks. This is with the 3. Z with the 3. Sorry. Growth on Discord. I'm not too sure about that. That looks like a bot. Hopefully not a follow bot. Z or Z. I guess Canadians say Z and Americans say Z. So Z with the 3 rhymes better than the Canadian. Cheap viewers. Great. Another bot. Yeah, not only form, but just slowing things down. A lot of when I was doing Ashtanga yoga, they just move through the postures way too quickly. And you could get injuries that way, and you're just not developing that fun foundational knowing exactly what those postures are when you're going too quickly through it. Z. I'm going to do another Sun Salutation A, and then we'll move on to Sun Salutation B. Let me just make sure that I'm in frame. Maybe I might angle it a little bit more so you can get closer to the camera, and also you can get a 3-dimensional view of what I'm doing. Flatten out my yoga mat. Practice on a yoga mat or a towel. If you're on a hard surface that's not so great for your knees, it's fine for your hands, but not so great for the knees. Starting from mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale with the arms up, gazes up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward to your range of motion. Inhale, halfway lift. From there, spread the fingers. Spread the fingers, plant the hands as wide as possible. Moving one leg back and then the other. And don't just dump down into the floor, but hold your plank like a lot of those CrossFit gyms do. Try and hold the posture. Firm your tummy while you're doing it. You'll see whatever changes the posture is putting on your body due to gravity. It's like a resistance exercise, only you're resisting against the Earth's gravity for a lot of these. And slowly, with control, hugging elbows to the body, flatten the feet. Then, when you're ready, inhale, baby cobra, or you can get on the feet and do upward dog. Gaze is upward. And from here, actually, yeah, let's just hang out baby cobra for a bit. So don't dump into your back. Only go high in cobra as you can do without your hands on the ground. If you're wrenching your body into a back bend, that can cause, there's a lot of serious injuries that can be done in yoga from not doing it properly or doing it carelessly. I'll say doing it carelessly because properly sounds like everybody's got the answer, and that's just not true. But according to body mechanics, there are things that are safe for your body. And unfortunately, as a martial artist, sometimes we've done things that weren't so safe and end up paying for it later in our life. So only as far as you can go with your lower back bend, lifting your hands. So yeah. Then from there, maybe just rise up a little bit more, tuck the chin in, caterpillar ourselves back, and that can really feel quite intense. So if you don't like that feeling, just straight pike the hips back up. Generally, this is a resting pose, so if that's a little too spicy for you, you can come down to your knees and take child's pose. And take your 6 breaths there. But ideally, you want to work towards being able to rest in downward dog, gazing towards your belly button. Feeling the gravity pull on your body and having that resistance exercise. In some cases, while you're lengthening or you're bending, you're also developing some muscular strength because you're resisting gravity. From there, looking forward, pulse the legs, hop, skip, or jump with control. Feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. So you're out through the crown of your head, back through your sit bones, and lifting up back into standing or mountain pose. That's Sun Salutation A. So next we'll do Sun Salutation B, and I'll just do the slow demo version of it, and then we'll go a little more quickly, and then at some points I'll hold just so I'm getting the benefit of the posture as well. Starts out very much like Sun Salutation A. So our mountain pose, lifting up, gaze to the sky by inhaling, exhale, because it's hard to inhale, fill your belly and fold over. It's more easier to exhale and empty that air out and then fold forward. More efficient that way. From here, we're going to bend the knees and sit into our chair pose, Utkatasana, and that can be difficult. So if you need to go up a little bit higher, stream those legs out a little bit more. I think the original one was like practically straight down to the ground, a little bit really low, but just find what's good for you. When we're doing that halfway lift and then going down, just touch your fingernails to the mat, bend those knees, and then rise up. Slowly work into it. You'll eventually get stronger in this position. From there, fold forward, halfway lift, same as we did before in our high plank, Dandasana. Shifting forward a bit, rubbing elbows against the ribs, flattening our feet. Inhaling, baby cobra. Toenails are pressing against the mat. Fingers are still spread and wide. From here, go into our toes, and in whichever way you prefer, get back into downward dog. So far, the unique posture that we've done that we didn't do in the previous sequence is the chair pose. Now from here, bring the feet together, lift one leg up into one-legged downward dog, Ekapada, Mukha Shavasana. Crunch, bring that knee forward, plant the foot flat, flatten the back foot, so the front foot is facing forward, the back foot is facing the side, and slowly come up and then sink into warrior. Warrior one. We'll hold this posture for a bit. So this warrior posture looks pretty similar to a karate front stance in that the front leg is bent, the back leg is straight. Just doing different things with the upper body, and also the difference is the back leg, the back heel and the front heel are in alignment, so we're walking the tightrope. So what that means, this wouldn't be a very good martial arts stance because we don't have any side-to-side stability, but it is a yoga pose. To make this useful for the martial arts, we move that back leg over a bit and have the back foot at around a 45-degree angle. And now it's a martial arts pose, but we're doing the yoga pose, so that's fine. If we walk the tightrope and challenge our balance, from there, exhale, bring the hands down, go on the ball of the back foot, kick that back leg up and down. Do that on the other side. Maybe just hold that for a bit. Whatever range of motion you have. Put that knee in, plant that foot, flatten the back foot, wait until you have your foundation, and then rise. And I am going to open a window because it's really warm in here right now. And that really makes you sweat lots. So we were on the other side. We did one side. Warrior pose, now the other side. And you'll find, because your body isn't exactly symmetrical, you'll find one side easier than the other. We're working towards equilibrium of the body, but in reality, there's always going to be one side that you find the posture easier to do compared to the other side. And depending on injury as well, if something gives you sharp pain, stop right away and don't do it. Do something else or find a modification that will work. But like I said before, don't force yourself into a posture because that's just the antithesis of yoga. That's just causing injury, not health and wellness. Hands meet the ground. Leg comes up, then down. Widen our feet. Rest here for a bit. Up, step or jump. Our feet to our hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Take bend in the knees. Sit into our chair pose. And Straight the legs up to standing. That's Surya Namaskar B. That's a pretty good warm up. I could do that again, but I think I'll just get changed into my martial arts uniform and then we'll do some martial arts. So don't go away, everybody. We're going to come back. I'm going to put my yoga mat away. I'm going to get into my martial arts uniform and we'll do the martial arts part of this stream. Yoga mat is away, getting on martial arts uniform. Grab a drink. Not too much though, because you don't want to moving around with a belly full of water, but just take a little bit to let's do that one more time. So I'm going to start, I think I said I was going to start with some, what was it now? Footworking pattern and a kicking, but why I don't, I start with the kicking form first and then the footworking pattern from Kyokushin Karate. Try and get in the middle of the. Just alter the camera. I apologize if this makes noise. So if you're with me with my last stream, this is a kicking pattern that's taught to beginners in Kyokushin Karate, and it's an on and eye pattern. And you'll have seen some of these kicks that I'm going to do. So as we start from this position here, this neutral position, and then chamber the leg and low side kick to the left. And you will have seen that when I did my kicking stream last week. So it's very simple. Chamber the knee and hit with the blade of the foot to the side. So someone is standing beside me and I'm kicking their calf, or I'm kicking their knee. Boom, from there, chamber and turn. And it's just like a half length. You don't have to go into a full front stance, but just boom, land, turn. So your hips are facing that way now. And from here, we're doing a front kick and land. From there, we're going to do a 180-degree turn to the right and do that low side kick, turn. From here, front kick and land. From here, side kick to the left, turn the body. And 3 times we're going to do that front kick forward. Take that from the top one more time just so you can get the idea of it. Looking to the left, side kick, low side kick turn, front kick, middle level or whatever level is good for you. Low side kick, turn, front kick, low side kick, turn, front, 3 of them. From here, we're going to do a 270-degree turn, so 90, 180, and side kick, turn, so 270-degree turn. After that, those 3 front kicks, boom, boom, front kick forward, side kick, 180-degree turn, front kick forward, side kick, and repeat that going to the back of the wall. Front kick 1, front kick 2, front kick 3, land, 270-degree turn. So right now I'm facing the back wall, I'm facing the side wall, I'm facing you. Low side kick after that turn. 1, 2, 3, land, front kick, and then turning 180 degrees to the right, low side kick, and front kick, and that's the form. I'll do that one more time with a little more flow now, but just so you saw the individual techniques as they were, we're mainly doing a bunch of turns and low side kicks and middle level front kick. Adjust for space if you don't have that big of a practice space. Don't kick your walls if you can avoid it. That's it. Just take a little bit of a breather. I'll grab a drink, then we'll continue on. So that was the kicking pattern. That was the kicking pattern. So now we'll get into that footwork pattern. I need to adjust the angle of the camera. Doesn't matter if you're not looking at my upper body because it's a footwork pattern and the focus is on the lower body a little bit more. We are doing something with the upper body though. So picking a spot on the floor that's kind of in the middle level of where you are from here. Take your fighting stance. Hands can be open or closed. I've got my left leg forward. That looks like from the side. Now in self-defense, you're not going to walk around like this because people are going to say that you're the aggressor. You always want to start from a neutral position, but be ready so that you're not giving all your targets away and you're protecting yourself. Or in some soft styles, we'll just raise the hands up and angle themselves. Just know that there are options, says John, more than one way to do things. So we're starting off and we're going to shuffle forward so that the front leg is going to step up and then we'll bring the back foot up. So that first movement, and we're doing an upward parry simultaneously. You can either palm strike, or you can upward parry and punch. And this is someone's coming straight at you. Someone's coming straight at you and you're knocking it out of the way and hitting them while knocking the arms upwards to clear them so that you have access to their chest by punch or by thrust. So that's the first motion. We're starting here, and we always want to return to that same point just for the sake of space management. But shuffling forward, so sliding the foot up, boom. That looks like from the side and back, or punch. And in this case, for some reason, instead of using the regular punch, they've chosen the vertical punch. Just nice and quick. You could even do this from your natural stance, just poof, boom, into there. So, facing the camera, one, boom. So the next one, I was forward, then rear. So, shuffling back and pressing hand block. So, pressing hand block. The first one was an upward parry, open hand upward parry. The second one was just a downward hand parry while stepping back from original position. Shuffle back, parry, shuffle back, parry, shuffle back, parry, shuffle back, parry, and then the next part of the sequence is crossover step and parry on the other side. So one starting from the top. Forward, upward parry, thrust, back to our original position, stepping back, shuffling, downward parry, crossover step, parry, and if you have a wall behind you, just as soon as your heel touches, have that parry completed. Because in a self-defense situation, you never know, you might be banging into a wall. So 1, 2, shuffling back, 3, crossover step back, and so that covers our front and back. The next one, after we've done our front, and we've done our back, and we're shuffling off, or we're pivoting off to the side, and we're doing an open hand parry like that. We're not actually actively moving, we're keeping that hand where it is to cover the body, and the body is rotating because someone's coming at us straight forward at us. From there, after that parry is completed, if that person's to your side, you can punch them to the floating ribs or strike them to the floating ribs. Do that 3 more times. But bare minimum, the idea is that we're placing ourselves out of a dangerous position by footworking. And we're not doing like a long footwork that takes a lot of time. It should be fairly quickly, and the more you practice it without losing your balance, the better. So that was to that side. Then now we're also going to do the other side, which can be tricky because now we want to pivot off that back foot. So that takes a little bit longer, but we're getting still off that line of attack. I'm doing this with the left foot forward. By all means, if you're southpaw, you should be able to do this. Because we're eventually, like, all we're doing is changing the order of things. You're still should be able to do it southpaw as well. So 3 more times, getting off the line of attack and parrying. Not an active parry, but more like a static parry with the lower body completing the motion. Getting us off the line of attack and ready to counterattack. Or if you want to lock that out, you can do lockout punch. You don't necessarily have to retract it. Whatever style of striking suits you best. So that was forward, forward, back. And at the end of that second one, throw a kick back in there. Forward, there, strike, there, strike. The next one is diagonally forward, so shuffle step, crossover step, turn, block, low block, punch, grab, throw down, and finishing throw. I'll do that. Actually, we'll do what we've done so far so you can get this side angle view. We're starting from our natural position, one forward, foot forward, boom, forward, back, back, kick. Because we don't want to just keep on backpedaling and tapping them down. Essentially, at some point, we're going to have to give ourselves some distance and let them know that attacking us is going to be painful for them. That's the whole idea of self-defense, is stopping violence. So one more time from the side. Then from here it's to the right side quarter, forward, 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 and then at an angle. We're going to shuffle, cover with that hand. I'm stepping off to the side and having this hand cover. Just statically by itself is what this looks like. But I'm doing that with a little bit of displacement now. Then crossover step, turning in place, block, punch, grab the back of their neck, hold them down, get out of the way while you're pulling them down, and finishing blow. That looks like from the side, getting out the line of attack, crossover step, turn in place, and your foot will kind of move forward as you're turning in place, block, punch the back of their back to stun them, grab the back of their neck, get out of the way, shuffle your back foot out of the way, throw them down to the ground, and finishing blow, and then back. One more time. So that was one diagonal, and we'll do the other diagonal as well. The only difference is that we're doing the same motions, but this time the back leg is crossover stepping off that line of attack. You can see how I'm not staying on that same line. I've got this arm immediately up there to cover. I don't want to use a fist because this is an open-handed parry, so I can grab quickly. And it doesn't look like I'm instigating things by having my hands bunched into a fist. Crossover step, turn, block, punch their back to stun them, grab the back of their neck, shuffle that back leg out of the way, pull them down backwards, and counter punch, and then back. Then the last thing that we have, the last motions on our 8 directions of movement, or 8 directions forward, back, and sides. And now we're doing the diagonals, and we're doing the diagonal back. So something's coming in, we're shuffling back, we're doing that parry. You can either front or round kick, and then back, off, off. Depending on your hip flexors, it might be easy to do the front kick, but if you have a little bit of flexibility, you can grab that arm, lift it up, and roundhouse kick them there. So that was that back diagonal. The next back diagonal, taking the front foot, moving it back, almost like a cat stance, and having that arm parrying there, maybe even grab and pull and kick, getting off that line of attack. Fairly fluid and quick. Maybe, as I said, you're a little more flexible, so boom, lifting that arm up, planting that roundhouse kick, either with the instep or with the ball of the foot. Ball of the foot would have a little more penetration to it. Then we'll do this from the angle, from the side, that is. Back, boom, boom, block, punch, thrust, boom, forward, boom, turn, pull down, counter throw, and then on the other side. You can really make some exaggerated arm movements too, just to get the idea that you want this arm protecting as you're moving off that line of attack. So now we'll move into Korean martial art form, and one of their and it's called Chogup Hyung. Chogup Hyung. This one I might raise the camera on a bit because it doesn't really, we're out of our footworking phase. Let me do that, repeat that one more time. Chogup Hyung. This one's a rather long one. So long as in takes a lot of length and floor space. I'm doing a rolling back fist here. Cover, turning around, punch from here, turning that over, opening up the meridians on the side of the arm, wedge block, kick, cat stance block with the palm, block with the other palm, turning to the side and twist stance. I'll just hold twist stance for a little bit. Back of the knee, front of the knee, into the back of the knee, and this covering position, X block, side kick, land, knife hand strike circular, hands clenched together, spinning around, and hitting, boom, and hitting with the palm. See if I can do that from the side. Might be a little tricky because I need a lot of room lengthwise to do that, so I might be altering my movements. Chogup Hyung. Covering the knees. Shield block. Double palm strike. X block. Crane stance. Middle knuckle fist. Step back. Back elbow. Front elbow. Circular knife hand. Downward circular knife hand. Back into ready position. Turn the hips. Front kick. Block, cover, punch, circular middle knuckle fist. And there, circular middle knuckle fist with cover, elbow, knife hand, down, circular knife hand, circular back fist down to the ground, up. So after that, coming up, inside, cruising kick, block, cover, turn, punch, back, open up the meridians, wedging block, front kick, cat stance, block the knee, leg is back, block the knee again with the palms, turning into twist stance, X block, side kick, circular knife hand strike, hands come together, taking the legs and spinning and hitting, and double palm. So that's the Chogokyung. Next we'll do Jinjiken Dai Ike from Shorinji Kempo. Japanified, if that's even a word. Japanified, it's a Japanified Kung Fu, because it's not. And Shorinji Kempo is very adamant about this, that they're influenced by Chinese origins, and they're not karate, and they certainly aren't, because I've taken karate, and for the most part, like, the only difference is that they should be planting with their heel, but they're using a lot of the ball of the foot, so that's not so much Chinese Kung Fu. But definitely mixing like hard style punching, blocking, and punching and kicking techniques along with joint locks and throws and pressure points, that's definitely a Chinese modality, even though it's a Japanese martial art. They definitely have the mix that they have, and they even use some rudimentary weapons like poles and short sticks. But an actual Shaolin Kung Fu would have a plethora of different kinds of weapons. So, and everything's off of a strong based heel, not on the ball of the foot like Shorinji Kempo does. But regardless of that, this is their Japanified version of Kung Fu that doesn't look like karate to me, so there's some relevance to what they say. I think they've added jiu-jitsu with some type of Chinese martial arts. Let's just say if you did this form in a karate class, they'd look at you like you had another head on your shoulders. So this is Tenjiken Daike, and generally this form, it's broken up into 6 segments, 3 moving forward and 3 moving back. Damn it. Camera just fell down. The gods of martial arts are not pleased with what I've said or something. I don't know. No, my camera gimbal is loose. Well, I hope I'm not butchering these forms too much, because some of them I haven't done as well as much as others. So we'll do it front a couple times and then do it to the side view, and I'll break down some of the individual techniques. So Shorinji Kempo, they take kind of like that. When I was doing that Habu Kwashi, they take a higher front stance. They have their hands up, and they've done a lot of evasions and things, kind of like Western boxing. So maybe their originator, their founder, maybe he took some of Western boxing and Japanified it into this Shorinji Kempo, this Japanese martial art. But anyway, so with the Kuksul one, we've got our hands open, hands back. Aikido, they have the hands open in a different position, but they're still leaning back with their feet, doing their turns. Kuksul one, they have their legs kind of similar, but the hands are open like so, just nice and relaxed. Not in front of us. Aikido, they're using some kind of blocking or guarding form. Shorinji Kempo is like this, although they do have throwing and joint locking techniques and whatnot, but they're hard style, they're Goho. This is their primary starting point. So from here, I'm going to move forward 3 times. So the first one, shuffle forward punch, and they use the vertical fist. So 1, 2, shuffle, crossover step using the vertical fist. Those are the first two. 1, and it's snappy, so they're not locking it out like a Japanese style, and much more of a natural posture for Shorinji Kempo. So Shorinji Kempo, Tenjiken Daike, and they might start off by doing that low block and then back up. 1, and actually not straight linear either. They might be stepping out actually first and then doing that punch and then off to the angle. So not straightforward, but off to the side, and then that punch. And after that third punch, they have this hand open and they're stepping forward and doing a hook punch with that arm still guarding. So that looks like Tenjiken Daike. 1, 2, 3, hook punch. And I had a conversation with Dirty Beanbag and another guy that does some boxing. We were talking about the virtues and different manners of hook punch. I'm leaning more towards a hook punch this way because you're always going to be, I feel like you're always going to be hitting more solidly with a fist like this. Whereas turning over, if you're too far away, you're going to catch the back knuckles, and there's just so many ways from doing that hook punch wrong that you could twist your wrist up and down on either the side, whereas this feels much more solid to me, hook punching this way. If they're too far away, then I'm just going to use my footwork to catch up to them to lay that hook punch in, or if they're just far enough away, fine, then I'll just kick them. But I digress. Regardless, this is what they do in Shorinji Kempo. This is Tenjiken Daike. So 1 forward, 2 forward, arm in place, 3 forward, hook punch. From there, they step back and they do an upper block or upward parry. 2 back, do a middle level parry with open hands. They step back and do a lower level parry with the open hand. They move that arm out of the way, counter kick, and then back forward. So once a person's done their offensive techniques, the person they usually pair it up in what's called an enbu. So as they're doing the offensive techniques, the partner coming this way is doing the parrying techniques. And then they switch places, and then the defender is now the attacker doing that set of attacking techniques. So moving back and forth in sets of 3 movements with 2 people, but this is the individual form just to get the idea down in them and the students. Try and get off that angle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Open up the arm, counter kick, and they're protecting the groin while counter kicking because they've got the hand in front of the groin as opposed to just plain old kicking and your groin's exposed and your hands are up here. They do have, after that, lower level parry, cover the groin, and kick. And I'll do that from the side a couple times. And I'll try and remember what else I was going to do today for a stream. So Tenchiken Daike. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. For a bit of an angle. Tenchiken Daike. So next I'll do a couple of American Kenpo techniques. Really warm. So these aren't so much forms because they do have their own forms, and sometimes they use that middle knuckle fist just like I was doing in that Korean one, only they might punch with it to the midsection, or they might, instead of punching, they might actually be doing that upward parry and dragging that middle knuckle down the sternum, but they're still using that fist position in American Kenpo in one of their forms, like short form 1 or something. But I'm not going to do Kenpo forms because I don't know those, but I do know some of their techniques. So one of them, the person's grabbed clothing grab on you. You're trapping the hand. You're lifting your arm up while trapping it, causing their arm to hyperextend. Hyperextend. Chop the arm out of the way. Chop into the throat with that right hand. And cover, get out of the way, step and cover out of the way. Kenpo always has these open hands in this stylized position. And you'll see Elvis, when he did Kenpo, he was doing a lot of this stuff. I think he might have even done it on stage. And I know his stage uniform, he kind of based it on a black Kenpo uniform because he did study Kenpo under the American Kenpo founder, Edmund Parker. So once again, someone's grabbing me on my, and you should be able to do this on the other side. So if I was grabbing on the other side, step back, trap the hand, because I don't want to move my arm up and then he just lets go. I want to trap his hand, lift my arm up, causing him to he's grabbing, his arm's being hyperextended, chop that arm out of the way, chop to the neck, and then cover out of the way. On the other side, grab, step back, trap the hand, hyperextend that arm, circle around, chop that arm out of the way. So he's grabbing, his arm's extended, his arm gets chopped out of the way, and his neck gets chopped. Chop, and step back just in case he's got buddies on the side trying to get to the back of you, and you can look around and see what's going on in your peripheral vision. One more time on that, and the 2 on the other side. Trap, hyperextend the arm, trap, hyperextend the arm, chop that hand out of the way, chop the neck, cross over, cover step, get out of the area so you can see and plan what you're going to do next. On the other side, step back, hyperextend the arm, chop his arm, grabbing arm out of the way, chop him to the neck, and then cover. Grabbed, hyperextend the arm, chop the arm out of the way, chop his neck, And sorry, not that, it's crossover step. So you can see what's going on. So the next one, punch is coming in, stepping back, chopping with both hands, chop to the neck, spear hand to the solar plexus, or maybe you're striking to the groin, chop to the neck again, and cover, getting out of that area of danger. So again,